To make a guess about the plot of the He-Man film, and if my guess is correct, how I would set up the sequel. Welcome to No Inside Voice Films, and today I'm going to give my guess for what the plot of the He-Man film will be, and how I would take that plot and turn it into an amazing sequel. Alright, so as anyone in the world of fandom knows, they are currently filming a live-action He-Man film. Some set photos have come out, and we've gotten our first look at Prince Adam, and so far, it looks so okay. The official press has let us know that this film does take place on Earth at first, and then moves into Eternia. So I wanted to kind of give my general guess at the plot of the film, and then also pitch how I would move forward based off of that plot. My guess for the plot of the film is it's going to be a little bit like the computer animated He-Man series that was on Netflix a couple years ago, where Prince Adam was assumed dead and missing based on something. Obviously, I don't know exactly what the specifics of his assumed deadness will be, but my guess is that Keldor or Skeletor, I'm not sure if he's Skeletor at this point, attacks the castle. Either Duncan or He-Man's mom sends him to Earth, because He-Man's mom in the original cartoon show and in canon is from Earth. I can't remember her name, I'll put it here. So they'll send him to Earth, and he'll go to Earth knowing very little about himself. He'll have a Superman moment where he finds the sword, and the sorceress will be able to speak through the sword and tell him all about his past, that sort of a thing, while he's on Earth. So Trapjaw or Triclops or someone from Skeletor's crew figures out that Adam and the Sword of Power are on Earth once Adam, has his Superman moment where he finds the sword and gets this information. They figure out a way to portal their way to Earth, and there's a big attack on Earth. And because Adam doesn't know how to use the Sword of Power, he is almost defeated when Teela, Man-at-Arms, whoever from the good guy side shows up. They show up, and they're like, okay, well, we sent you here for safety. They know that you're here. It's pointless for you to stay on Earth. Let's send you back to Eternia. I'm sure some of his Earth friends will come with him to Eternia, because you really need that whole fish out of water thing, and that'll give them comedy beats. And they've just announced that they've hired a couple of people to play characters that have human Earth type names instead of the Eternian name. So I'm assuming those characters will probably go with He-Man, but this is me just guessing on the plot based off of what the news that's come out. But the main plot beats, I'm guessing, is attack on Earth, go to Eternia. Go to Eternia, learn how to use the Sword of Power. He becomes He-Man. The only person who knows that He-Man is Prince Adam is going to be Duncan, Man-at-Arms, for the vast majority of the film. And they go through the film, they meet up with King Randor. He-Man and King Randor, they become buddies. While fighting with King Randor, there's questions about how this person got the Sword of Power. It had been missing for years, just as long as the son. The mom, being the mom, kind of sees it. She's like, I think this guy looks familiar, but she doesn't say anything. She doesn't want to get her hopes up. They defeat Skeletor and his crew, and all is happy. He-Man depowers. The mom knows instantly, this is definitely my son. The dad is so happy. Everybody's happy. Here's where we get to my setup for the sequel. So Skeletor is defeated. He's got nowhere to go. So what does he do? He goes with his tail between his legs back to his teacher, good old Hordak. When he goes back to Hordak, obviously the Master of the Universe fans will know that means a little bit of She-Ra. But to really knock it home, what I'm going to do in my post-credit scene, so the Hordak scene would be right before the credits. So everyone's going to think, oh, that's the teaser. But the real teaser, the fun teaser for the people who are willing to either stay through the credits or wherever, the company would have me put this last little stinger, is we ended the last scene of Randor and the Queen hugging Adam and being so happy. This would take place right after that scene. The next scene, it would be a cut. They release from the embrace, and Randor looks at Adam and looks at his wife and says, Now where's your sister? And that's the end of the film. So between Hordak showing up and the mentioning of the sister, we've got a setup for She-Ra. And I know for anyone who's about to put it in the comments that the rights for She-Ra and He-Man are very weird, and we can't be guaranteed that there will be the addition of She-Ra into anything that is made with the He-Man brand. But I'm just thinking optimistically and how I'd love to set up a sequel, and my sequel would lead into She-Ra, because that way we'd be able to bring in all 4 quadrants in the next film, even in a stronger way. And from that point on, you could branch off. You could make She-Ra films, you can make He-Man films, and you could go from there. That's my basic pitch for how I believe the general idea of the plot for the He-Man film. And yes, I fully understand that it is the most general and basic plots, and anyone could have come up with this idea for where the plot is going to go in the He-Man film. But that's kind of how the first films in these heroic journeys go. You know what's going to basically happen. He's going to go through his full journey, but it's how they execute it, the fun set pieces, the great characterizations that make the films worth watching. And I'd just really love for the sequel to be set up where they're telling us right away, yes, you're definitely going to get She-Ra. You're not going to have to wait. Kind of like Deadpool straight up said Cable's going to be in the next one. We want to know that She-Ra's going to be in the next one. So they're telling us, hey, you know what? We got She-Ra, we got Hordak. It's going down. It's going to be amazing. So I hope you like my pitch. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Like and subscribe. And thank you all for watching this. I hope to do more like this and more things like this on the channel. With that all said, I'd just like to close this by saying that life is only what we choose to make it. Everybody have a great one.